Hi, today I'm going to take you behind the scenes and show you and tell you how I record my videos. If you've never done a video before, this might be helpful to you. And also, I do it in a way that almost none of the other YouTubers do. And you might find this tip helpful if you're recording a video. So stay tuned. Hi, I'm Sandy from Sandy Over 70. Thanks for watching. I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel and clicking the little bell so you can be notified when I post new videos. Most people, when they start doing videos, will use their phone because the phones today have really good cameras. And I still do that occasionally, but that's never been my primary way of photography, and I'll tell you the reason. The reason is I have an iPhone, but I have a PC. And sometimes they don't want to talk to each other, and transferring the photos and videos from my phone to my PC doesn't always go smoothly. So I decided from the beginning that I would use a camera. So I did some research on which camera to buy, and I basically followed the advice of one of the YouTubers I follow, whose name is Catherine Manning. She recommended and said that most YouTubers use this camera. It's huge, I know. It is a Canon EOS. It's a fun camera to use. It's completely automatic. It's not hard to use. Set it on auto and it's a point and shoot. And I did use it for quite a while. I will tell you that it's heavy. It doesn't come with this particular lens. I bought this lens extra. I'm not going to recommend this camera. I'll tell you why. It's very heavy. And I like to take my camera around. I never know when I'm going to get a shot. And if you're doing it from your home and you're, putting it on a tripod, it might be fine. But I'll tell you the main reason I stopped using this camera, and it's a shame because it's not a cheap camera. The main reason is that I wanted to put on a dead cat or a wind muffler, and these attach to a camera that has one of these shoes on the top where it will slip in. And that's the reason I got this camera, because I didn't want to have the sounds of wind in the background. You've probably heard videos where it's very hard to understand, that sort of thing if you're at the ocean. So I bought this and I used it. Now, it didn't work out at all for me. There was something wrong with the link between the camera and the dead cat, and every time I moved the camera up or down, the screen went black. When I had this on, I tried everything, and it was so frustrating. So, of course, eventually I stopped using this and just hoped for the best. But meanwhile, I did some research and I decided to get a smaller camera. Okay, so that's when I got this one. And this is a Canon G7X. It's a PowerShot G7X Mark II, and you can see it's much smaller. It does have a lens that retracts, and that's another great thing, because with the other camera, you have to make sure you put the lens cap on all the time, or you could damage the lens. This one, I don't have to worry about it. I can either turn the camera off and it retracts, or it will automatically retract after a certain amount of time. So this camera is the one I'm still using. Now, here's the thing that I do differently from other YouTubers. I do not film my narrative, which is what I'm doing now, with this camera. Obviously, I'm holding the camera and I'm filming. And I use an editing program called Wondershare Filmora, and I have a camera in my PC, and I use the camera in my PC, and it's so easy because I can start and stop the recording. I can go back and check it, make sure the sound is okay, make sure everything is okay, and continue on without having to take the disc out of the camera, insert it into my computer, and check the filming. So this is exclusively what I do, what I'm doing now. And let me talk about the editing program. When you start out, you have to have an editing program. If you have an Apple computer, I understand there's a program called iMovie, which most people use. And if you have an iPhone and an Apple computer and you use iMovie, it's probably seamless. I don't have that. And yes, I did try an Apple computer about 5 years ago, and I couldn't do the transfer in my head. I think I'm just too old for that. So I'm sticking with my PC. But I've also used Android phones and iPhones, and for me, there's no comparison. The iPhone works better for me. So I'm going to keep these two, but they're just not real compatible. So I film all of my sit-down talking on the Wondershare Filmora editing program on the PC. Now, editing programs. I told you about iMovie. When I first started videos years ago, I was making videos of my travel. And Windows came with a movie making program. I can't remember the name, Movie Maker or something like that. It was a really basic, simple movie making program, and it was wonderful. And then when they upgraded Windows, they took it out. I was so disappointed. So I went online and I tried, I think, 3 or 4 different editing programs, and one was worse than the other. By worse, I mean, I am not a professional. I don't need a lot of fancy tricks. I just need a simple editing program. And I found the programs that I tried were not simple. They allowed you to test them for a period of time, and I would advise you to do that if you're looking for the right program. I settled on Wondershare Filmora because for me, it was the easiest program, but I can't recommend it to you because I've had a lot of problems with it. It seems to be, there are incompatibilities. I've had it shut down and I've lost my work more than once. So I can't recommend it to you. If you can find a better program, use it. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Now, here is the thing. You have to learn the program. And if you're like me and just a basic non-techie person, you have to really work it. You have to really want to do this because you have to practice. And there are features on this Filmora thing that I have no idea what they do, and I'll never use them. I only use the basics. So that's where we are with the editing. I've worked it and worked it and worked it until it's pretty easy for me. I can get through it relatively quickly, but I don't trust it. And I will always back it up on my computer. After I have a draft done, I will always back it up. I will export it to my computer because I have lost entire videos. But, maybe you won't have that problem. Just warning you. So there are generally 2 parts to every video. There's the part where I'm talking to you here, and there's the video that I may have taken when I'm out on a trip or whatever I'm doing, the video that's on this disc. And I remove the disc, I put it into my computer, I download the videos and photos to a file on my computer named for the video that I'm working on. And then I transfer them from my computer to the Filmora program, and they're all lined up on the screen, and I'm going to show you that now. So I'll have photos and videos lined up here on the screen, and these are the ones I just did, and I will then move them down into the work area on the bottom here. And this is where the editing takes place. I can cut pieces out, I can insert things, and the editing process is, it's tricky. I happen to love editing. A lot of people don't, but I happen to love it. For me, this is the creative part of making a video. Now, I'm not going to show you the editing process because I don't know what program you're using, and whatever program you're using, there are videos to teach you how to use it. Filmora has a huge warehouse full of videos for everything you need to learn how to do it. But I will talk about something like the background. Okay, you see here I have a divider which I ordered on Amazon so that I could cover up the wall. I'll show you the wall in a minute. I'll take the screen away and show it to you. There's nothing wrong with the wall. It's just not particularly attractive, and I wanted something that was pretty, so I put this behind me when I'm recording just so it looks nice. You can use whatever you want. The other thing you need is good lighting, and most YouTubers will use a ring light, and you can actually attach your phone right into the middle of the ring light, and so you have everything in one piece. I've seen kits in Walmart where you can get an entire kit of lighting, and it includes the ring light and the attachment and all that. Just, you have to look around and decide what you want, but you do need lighting. And up until today, I've used this particular ring light, which I will show you. Yes, and it hasn't really been bright enough for me, and I've added another light with an LED bulb. And I realized that the reason it hasn't been light enough is that when I started my videos, I was in my other house, and my other house had a skylight directly above my desk, and the lighting was perfect. I mean, I did use this ring light, but with the skylight, it was really good. So today, I just received my new ring light, and it is, oh my goodness, it's much larger than this one. I needed more light, and here's a picture of it, and I'm using it now, and I think that I'm going to be happier with this light. I mean, we all start out with something smaller, and the smaller ones, I think they're about $29 for the small ones. I don't really remember, but the new one is about $100. So, we start out, and if we think this is going to be a good hobby, then, which it is for me, then I'm gradually increasing the quality of my equipment. So I've taken away the wall background, and this is what we have. I mean, it's fine, but I don't know. What do you think? I mean, I just think the other background's better, so I use that. Now, ladies, I want to talk about the ring light and the lighting. I've had many of my viewers, tell me how nice my skin looks and how young I look. And I always say it's the lighting, and people don't believe me, but really, it is the lighting. It is amazing what it does to your face. Honestly, it takes 10 years off, I think. It is so flattering. So I think even if I didn't need the light to light the video, I'd use the light to make myself look better. So that's the secret behind the lighting. The editing process includes a lot of things. You're cutting and pasting and making the video flow the way you want it. You may be inserting photos in between the video snippets. You may be talking in between, like I do. I'll go back and forth, and that's just part of the editing. Another part of the editing is adding titles or subtitles to clarify things. Sometimes I'll make a mistake in the video, but I can always correct it by putting a subtitle with the correct information at the bottom of the video. And then another fun part of editing are the transitions between each snippet of video and photo. And this makes it run smoothly. I mean, you can have a sudden shift from, very abrupt shift, or you can have it smooth with a transition so that, sometimes it'll just, go like this or off to the, you probably don't even notice it, but you will notice that some videos the pictures are very crisp and they just go without any transition to the next photo. I know I'm not explaining this probably really well, but it's the best I can do. And the final step in editing is adding music if and when you need it. Now, you cannot just use any old music. I didn't know this when I started. I thought if I had paid for music that I could then use it in my videos. No, you cannot do that. And if it is copyrighted and you use it in your YouTube videos, you will get notified, and if you do it too often, you can get a strike against you, and if you get, I think it's 3 strikes, they'll take your channel down. So this is not something you fool around with. Now, I am using Epidemic sound. I subscribe to it. I believe it's $15 a month. It gives me access to a lot of music. It's all copyright free for one channel only. So that's a big part if you're going to use music, and maybe you won't need music, but sometimes I'll have some scenery and I'm not talking. So I'll put some beautiful music there. I use music a lot. I like music in my videos, but you have to make that decision. But I'm not aware. Oh, yes, I am. You can get some copyright-free music from YouTube while you are uploading your video to YouTube. There is some available for you to use, and I used that a couple times. I'm trying to think where else. You may be able to find some other copyright-free music, but Epidemic sound is what most of the YouTubers use, and yes, there is an expense. Doing these videos is not cheap. It's not excessively expensive. I mean, there are hobbies that cost more than this, but there are expenses involved. And so I do pay $15 a month for use unlimited amounts of music, but I can only use it on this channel, Sandy Over 70, on no other channels. And I do have several others, but this is my main one. When I get the video exactly the way I want it, and I've added an end screen to it, which will allow me to show you a preview of some of my other videos. I've also have a little introductory song, and it says Sandy Over 70 with the face of a woman. All these little things. I get it exactly the way I want it, and then I keep watching it because I will constantly find mistakes or things that I can do better, but eventually I'll feel I'm ready to upload it to YouTube. And that's when I go to my channel and I click on the upload button on YouTube, and it pulls it into YouTube. But that's not the end of it. You have to then, oh, I didn't tell you about the thumbnail. YouTube requires a thumbnail, and a thumbnail is very, very important because that is what will cause a potential viewer to click on your video or not. And it has to be eye-catching. It has to tell the viewer what the video is about, and hopefully it's not clickbait. Clickbait is when you have a thumbnail that promises one thing, but it delivers something else, and that is not good practice. So I always work on my thumbnail almost before I start the video. I know that's kind of strange, but it kind of sets the scene for me, and I really enjoy making the thumbnail. And I use a free program called Canva. And that's also another creative aspect. I really like making the thumbnail and trying to make it in a way that will tell people what is in the video, but make them want to click on it. Okay, so I have the thumbnail ready because when I'm uploading the video to YouTube, it's going to, number one, ask for a title. And the title needs to have keywords in it that people are looking for on Google and YouTube. And there is a section in the analytics part where you can see if your keywords are the words that are being searched for. If you have created a playlist, you can then put your new video into a playlist. There is a place where they ask if the video is made for children or not. If you click the box that says it is made for children, it will not allow comments on your posted videos. So I never make videos for children, so it's always clicked that it's not made for children because the rules are there are additional rules if you're making videos for children that are very strict. After the video is on YouTube, you have the option of making it private, unlisted, or scheduled. I always have my videos private until the day I'm ready to release them and publish them. Sometimes I will schedule them the night before for a certain time, and you can change that back and forth if you want. I think at this point I'm not going to get into any more detail. You can see that making a video is a bit complicated, but once you learn it, it goes very fast, and it's really fun if you like this sort of thing. If you have any questions, please put them in the comment section below. I hope this was in some way maybe enlightening or inspiring. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, and please don't forget to subscribe. It's free and it helps me grow my channel. Have a great day.